Welcome back to Kaguya-sama Anime Love is War Anime Review, episode number 2. This I'm discussing only 3 episodes of the series instead of 6. Discussing episodes 7 through 9. Yeah, some of these ones, now the third one of these ones actually is an interconnected type of story. Now, what chapters do these episodes cover? Episode 7 covers 26, 27, 29. 28 covers 31, 39, 55, and episode 9 covers episode 33, 35. Interesting the fact they cover this much. So, yeah. Now, here's the thing. Only episode 9 basically has 3 interconnected stories, while basically the first 2 are just standalone one-shot stories. Here's the name of them, believe it or not. The first ones are called Kaguya Circuit wants to work, Kaguya wants to join in, Kaguya wants to control it. Yep, the guy who asked a few episodes back about dating advice, and now he's trying to ask like how to hold hands, and basically he wants him to get a job so he can take her on a cruise line. And then of course Chuck comes in. This is a follow up to that. Well, the last time they had one of these, and just hold hands, just like natural, just like that. Yep. The second one is basically, well, even though that Sagarit is the student council president, he doesn't have time to actually join the other clubs. So, and here's the thing: according to the treasurer, he wants the president to cut some of the sports club budget because apparently some members have got girlfriends. They want to spend more time on them. So it doesn't really much go anywhere for this one, but it's an interesting idea. The fact that, well, they want to basically, the whole clubs thing. The last one is basically Koga laughing at the word wiener. And the fact she wants to basically hold in her laughter while being in front of the president. That's all that is. The next 3 are pretty much quite simple ones. Like, the first one is basically where we have Sugar's younger sister shows up, and she's actually in middle school, and she's also the student treasurer, the treasurer for the student council for middle school. We're like, that's interesting. So, like, brother, like sister, they're both the student council positions. The difference is he's the president of the student council for high school, and middle school she's the treasurer. And she looks like she gets along really well with the treasurer of the student council. The secretary, they're best friends because, well, because the thing is, one of her sisters is actually the same grade as her. And in the case of Koga, they try to get along, but she was kind of nervous talking to her. Maybe because of the fact this is the girl who likes her older brother. Yep. That's simply what it is. It's a quite fun little short. Yep. The next 2 is simply put about basically about the final exam. Yeah, this is basically something like, this is basically all about Saga, basically him studying, him being number 1. The next one's basically about the treasurer, where he studies so he barely passes. Yeah, it's like interesting though. The first one is basically just a standalone one. It does somewhat loosely connect to what goes on in the next 2 parts, where the whole thing about that if he loses, he basically loses his position as the highest ranked person. Yeah, next one. This one is another one of those ones. Just like the last one's interconnected stories. Like the last one, this one is a little more connected. First one is Koga wants to give a gift. Yeah, though basically it's about mostly like, oh, like it's raining outside. It's basically a typhoon, and the trains aren't running. So let's just have it where officer ride home, and the ride just happens to be, well, a taxi that she called. Chica basically wants to call to a taxi too, but basically he has to take his bike home and inadvertently gets Kaguya wet, which does set up the next 2 parts, where she's now sick and she's delirious, and Chica wants to visit her, and of course she, the treasurer, and the president all play this memory card game where the president wins in hilarious fashion. Then, of course, next part is the president visiting Koga at her home, which is the first time he's ever actually been there. And he meets the maid, he doesn't know at this point that she's actually goes to the same school he does. So he goes to Koga's bedroom where she's basically delirious. She doesn't remember anything. So when he goes visit her, she's like on the floor, just playing with stuff. Though she's put back in the bed, and of course, Cigar Base wants to, well, he's asked to keep an eye, basically stay there for 3 hours, but don't do anything inappropriate. They talk for a bit, and then, because she's so tired, she drags the president to bed with her, and then she wakes up later after sleeping. Is like, "Oh crap! What do you do in my bed? Get out of here!" Yep. And then, of course, well, Hitsugar basically checks later, like, "Nope, nothing happened. All you two did was slept." Yep, that's all these episodes are. Yep, I like the fact that in the case of these three overall, I would say 7, like in the case of the first 6, it's all standalone stories. Nothing really much to each other. They don't connect to each other. 8 and 9 kind of start doing that. Also, they start to mention the whole thing about fireworks. That's going to happen hopefully in the last couple of seasons. Yeah, but not much else to say about these particular episodes. They're good. Definitely something to talk about when it comes to a particular series. Yep, so that's it for particular review. Now, I still got one more review to do for this particular. We'll talk about this season's show. Yep. Yeah, which next one, which is episode 3. That will discuss the last 3 episodes of season 1 for this series. Alright, so that's it for particular review. My next video is going to be a review for a Comic Corner discussing 2 flash trades of the current Flash film. Okay? Producing video. Bye.